Good morning. Today I want to talk about something that separates the weak from the strong, the quitters from the finishers, the average from the day. It's called the winner's code of mindset, a way of life, a commitment to never back down, never break, and never accept mediocrity. Winning isn't about talent. It's not about luck. It's about discipline, resilience, and an unshakable mindset. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, pushing forward when everything in you screams to stop, and refusing to let pain, doubt, or fear control your destiny. Most people want to win when it's easy, but winners don't wait for easy, they create results in the hardest conditions. The winner's code says, comfort is the enemy. Struggle is the way. Growth happens in the fire. Comfort is a silent killer of potential. It lulls people into a false sense of security, making them believe that staying where they are is good enough. But those who live by the winner's code know that comfort is the enemy of growth. They understand that success isn't handed to them. It's forged in the fire of discomfort, struggle, and relentless effort. The truth is, the greatest version of yourself is on the other side of pain, and the only way to reach it is by embracing discomfort head on. People often look for shortcuts, easy solutions, and paths of least resistance. They avoid discomfort because it feels unnatural. Society teaches us to seek convenience, to take breaks, and to avoid pain whenever possible. But that's not how winners operate. Winners deliberately put themselves in tough situations because they know that every hardship they endure builds resilience. They train their bodies and minds to withstand discomfort so that when life throws real challenges at them, they don't break, they thrive. The human mind is wired to avoid pain, but it is also capable of adapting to incredible levels of suffering. When you start pushing yourself beyond your perceived limits, you realize that those limits were never real in the first place. You thought you could only run 5 miles, but when you pushed through exhaustion, you found 10. You thought you couldn't wake up early and train, but when you forced yourself out of bed, you proved your mind wrong. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the more resilient and unstoppable you become. True growth comes in the moments when you want to quit but choose to keep going. It happens in the gym when your muscles are screaming and you do one more rep. It happens when you're exhausted but you stay up late to work on your goals. It happens when life beats you down and instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you stand back up and fight harder. Growth isn't pretty. It's painful, frustrating, and uncomfortable. But those who welcome that discomfort become the strongest versions of themselves. Most people never reach their full potential because they never force themselves to suffer. They stop at the first sign of difficulty. They stay in their comfort zones telling themselves that they're doing enough. But enough is the language of the average. Winners don't do just enough, they go above and beyond, even when no one is watching. They push themselves to limits others aren't willing to explore. They know that what separates them from everyone else is their ability to embrace discomfort, not avoid it. This mentality applies to every area of life. In fitness, the person who embraces discomfort will train harder and longer, seeing results while others make excuses. In business, the person who takes risks and grinds through uncertainty will outwork their competition and rise to the top. In personal development, the person who seeks difficult challenges will grow while others remain stagnant. The principle is universal. Those who lean into discomfort evolve, while those who avoid it remain the same. Discomfort isn't something to fear, it's something to chase. It's a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, pushing your limits, and breaking past the mental barriers that have held you back. Every time you embrace discomfort, you get stronger. Every time you push through pain, you build resilience. Every time you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. So the next time you feel the urge to stop, the moment your mind tells you it's too hard, remind yourself of this: growth begins where comfort ends. Winners don't avoid discomfort, they seek it, they endure it, and they emerge from it unstoppable. Motivation is a fleeting emotion. It comes and goes like the wind, unreliable and consistent. One day you wake up feeling energized, ready to take on the world, but the next, you find yourself making excuses, convincing yourself that skipping a workout, delaying a project, or taking a break won't hurt. This is the trap most people fall into. They rely on motivation to dictate their actions. But winners don't operate that way. They understand that discipline is the key to success, not motivation. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It means showing up every day, rain or shine, tired or energized, motivated or uninspired. Discipline removes the question of should I and replaces it with I must. It is the foundation of greatness, the unseen force that drives winners forward while everyone else waits for the perfect conditions to start. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary results and those who stay stuck in mediocrity is their ability to stay disciplined when the excitement wears off. Motivation is easy in the beginning. Starting a new fitness journey, launching a business, or pursuing a dream feels exciting. But excitement fades. The real test comes when the work gets tough, when progress slows, when obstacles arise. This is where most people quit. They tell themselves they'll get back to it when they feel motivated again. But that day never comes. The cycle of inconsistency keeps them trapped, never reaching their full potential. Discipline, on the other hand, does not depend on emotions. It is a commitment to a higher standard, a mindset that says, I will do what needs to be done, no matter how I feel. Winners understand that success is built on the small, consistent actions taken every single day. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't hit the snooze button. They don't make excuses. They follow their plan because they know that every small effort compounds over time. Consider an elite athlete training for a championship. They don't rely on motivation to get out of bed for early morning workouts. They don't wait until they feel like it to push themselves harder. They have a structured routine, a clear goal, and an unbreakable mindset that tells them quitting is not an option. That level of discipline is what separates them from the rest. It's not talent or luck. It's the ability to show up and execute, even when it's inconvenient, painful, or exhausting. The same applies to every area of life. In business, the most successful entrepreneurs don't rely on inspiration to build their empires. They work relentlessly, even on days when they're discouraged, tired, or overwhelmed. In personal development, those who transform their lives don't just read a motivational quote and feel good for a moment. They take action every single day, regardless of their emotions. Discipline is freedom. It gives you control over your life, your results, and your future. When you master discipline, you no longer have to depend on fleeting motivation. You become unstoppable because you've trained yourself to take action whether you feel like it or not. You stop making excuses and you start making progress. This isn't to say motivation has no place. It can be a great spark, a powerful force that gets you started, but it is not what keeps you going. Discipline is what keeps the fire burning long after motivation dies out. The strongest individuals in any field are those who have mastered the art of consistency. They wake up every day with a mission, and they execute it without question. If you want to win, stop waiting for motivation. Start building discipline. Make a commitment to yourself that your actions will not be dictated by how you feel, but by what needs to be done. Success is reserved for those who are willing to show up, put in the work, and stay consistent no matter what. Mental toughness is the foundation of greatness. It is the ability to keep moving forward despite pain, fear, and exhaustion. It is the refusal to surrender when life throws obstacles in the way. Winners are not born with an unshakable mindset. They build it through discipline, suffering, and relentless self-mastery. The reality is that most people quit not because they are physically incapable, but because their mind gives up before their body does. Those who succeed at the highest levels understand that their mind is their most powerful weapon, and they train it just as hard as they train their body. When the body feels exhausted, when every muscle aches, and when everything in you screams to stop, that is when the mind must take control. The average person listens to that inner voice telling them to quit. Winners do not. They recognize that pain is temporary, that discomfort is part of the process, and that they are capable of far more than they ever imagined. The mind is the gatekeeper of success. It will try to convince you that you have reached your limit, but in reality, you are only at a fraction of what you are truly capable of. Mental toughness is built through exposure to adversity. It is not something you are given. It is something you earn through struggle. The more you put yourself in difficult situations, the stronger your mind becomes. Those who avoid pain and hardship never develop resilience. They crumble when faced with difficulty because they have never trained themselves to endure suffering. Winners, on the other hand, seek out challenges. They push themselves into the fire because they know that every moment of struggle makes them stronger, harder, and more unbreakable. The strongest people in the world are not those who have never failed. They are the ones who have failed repeatedly, but never allowed those failures to define them. They have been knocked down, ridiculed, and doubted, but instead of giving up, they used every setback as fuel. They do not allow their circumstances to control them. They take full responsibility for their actions, knowing that the only thing that truly matters is how they respond to adversity. Pain is an unavoidable part of growth. Most people run from it. They look for comfort, safety, and easy solutions. But comfort does not create strength. Those who embrace pain and learn to push through it develop a level of resilience that sets them apart from the rest. Mental toughness is not about ignoring pain, it is about accepting it, controlling it, and using it as a tool for growth. When you can learn to sit in discomfort without breaking, you unlock a level of strength that most people would never experience. One of the greatest lessons in life is understanding that suffering is a choice. Pain is inevitable, but how you respond to it is entirely up to you. When you hit a wall, you have two choices: give up or keep pushing. Winners choose to push. They refuse to allow their minds to be controlled by fear or doubt. They rewire their thinking so that when they feel pain, instead of stopping, they push harder. They recognize that pain is proof of progress. Every time they break through a mental barrier, they redefine what they are capable of. The moment you start controlling your mind instead of letting it control you, everything changes. You stop making excuses. You stop quitting when things get hard. You start seeing obstacles as opportunities rather than limitations. You develop a mindset that is relentless, unshakable, and unstoppable. The difference between winning and losing is often not physical ability, it is mental toughness. The strongest, most successful people in the world are the ones who refuse to quit when everyone else does. They have trained their minds to endure suffering, and because of that, they are able to push beyond what most people think is possible. If you want to be great, train your mind just as hard as you train your body. Tug in yourself. Push through the pain. Control your mind, and you will control your destiny. Excuses are the comfort zone of the weak. They are the stories people tell themselves to justify why they are not where they want to be. Excuses are the easy way out, the convenient way to avoid responsibility, and the quickest way to stay stuck in mediocrity. Winners do not make excuses, they take full accountability for their lives. They do not blame their circumstances, their upbringing, their past failures, or anyone else for where they are. They understand that success is in their hands, and if they do not take control, no one else will. Average people look for reasons why they cannot succeed. They say they do not have enough time, resources, or talent. They complain about how life is unfair, how others have better opportunities, or how they were dealt a bad hand. But winners do not waste energy on what they cannot control. They focus on what they can control: their effort, their mindset, their discipline, and their ability to overcome obstacles. Life does not care about excuses. It does not care how difficult your circumstances are. The only thing that matters is whether or not you are willing to put in the work. Taking accountability means owning every part of your life, good and bad. If you are out of shape, it is because of the choices you have made. If your business is failing, it is because of the actions you have taken or failed to take. If you are not where you want to be, it is because of you. That is a hard truth for many people to accept, because it's much easier to point fingers than to look in the mirror. But the moment you stop making excuses and take full ownership of your life, you gain power. You realize that if your past actions created your current reality, then your future actions can create the reality you want. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who take responsibility for everything in their lives, even when things go wrong. They do not waste time complaining or blaming others. They ask themselves, what can I do to fix this? How can I improve? What action do I need to take? This mindset shift is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Excuses keep you trapped, but accountability sets you free. Some people will argue that certain challenges are beyond their control. And it is true, there are things in life that you cannot change. But what you can change is how you respond. You can either let obstacles defeat you, or you can use them as fuel to become stronger. There are countless stories of people who have overcome extreme adversity, poverty, physical disabilities, personal tragedies, because they refuse to make excuses. They refuse to let their circumstances define them. Instead, they use their struggles as motivation to push even harder. The harsh reality is that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. You either put in the work or you stay the same. Winners understand this. They do not wait for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, or for someone to give them permission. They take action now. They put in the work when they do not feel like it, when no one is watching, and when the odds are stacked against them. If you want to be successful, stop making excuses. Stop blaming others. Stop waiting for the right moment. Take full control of your life, own your decisions, and hold yourself accountable for your results. The moment you do that, everything changes. You stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as the architect of your own future. Winners do not wait for opportunities, they create them. They do not hope for success, they build it. The choice is yours. Make excuses or make progress. But you cannot do both. Success is not built on grand gestures or occasional bursts of effort. It is built on consistency, the ability to show up, do the work, and stay committed to the process day in and day out. Most people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lack the discipline to remain consistent. They start strong, full of enthusiasm and motivation, but the moment things become difficult, their energy fades and they fall back into old habits. Winners are different. They understand that consistency is the key to long-term success, and they refuse to let emotions dictate their actions. Consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is not enough to work hard for a few days or weeks and then stop. Anyone can put in effort for a short period, but real results come to those who are willing to push forward even when progress is slow. Many people expect immediate results, and when they do not see them, they lose interest and quit. Winners know that success is a long game. They commit to the process, understanding that every small step forward compounds over time into something extraordinary. There will be days when the work feels monotonous. There will be times when results seem invisible. This is where most people give up. They think their efforts are wasted because they cannot see immediate rewards. But consistency is about having faith in the process. It is about showing up even when no one is watching, even when there is no applause, and even when progress feels invisible. The reality is that small, consistent actions over time lead to massive transformation. The person who works out every day, even when they do not feel like it, will see results. The entrepreneur who puts in the work daily, even when success feels far away, will eventually break through. The student who studies consistently, even when the material seems overwhelming, will master their subject. Winners eliminate the idea of instant gratification. They understand that greatness is built over time, not overnight. They are willing to do the boring, repetitive, and difficult tasks that others avoid because they know those tasks are the foundation of success. They do not rely on motivation to get the job done. They rely on habit, routine, and discipline. They wake up early when they would rather sleep in. They put in extra effort when they could relax. They push forward when they could quit. Most people underestimate the power of small daily improvements. They think they need massive action to make progress, but the truth is, tiny, consistent efforts create the biggest impact. If you improve by just 1% every day over time, that improvement compounds into something remarkable. The problem is, most people do not see immediate results, so they stop. They think their small efforts are meaningless, but winners understand that every action, no matter how small, matters. Excuses are the biggest enemy of consistency. People tell themselves they are too busy, too tired, or that they will start tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year. Winners do not allow themselves to make excuses. They stick to their commitments no matter what. They train their minds to reject the urge to quit, and they develop an unbreakable habit of showing up every single day. The secret to success is not found in talent, luck, or shortcuts. It is found in the ability to be consistent even when it is hard, even when there is no immediate reward, and even when motivation is gone. Winners understand that the real battle is not against others, it is against themselves. They fight the urge to quit, to take shortcuts, or to seek comfort. They stay focused on the process, knowing that consistency is the ultimate key to winning. If you want to achieve greatness, stop looking for quick fixes and start mastering the art of consistency. Sacrifice is the price of greatness. No one achieves extraordinary success without giving up something along the way. The reality is that most people want to win, but they are not willing to pay the price. They want success without struggle, results without effort, and rewards without sacrifice. Winners understand that if they want to achieve something significant, they must be willing to let go of comfort, distractions, and temporary pleasures. They do not complain about what they have to give up because they know that sacrifice is the currency of achievement. Every great success story is built on sacrifices. The athlete who becomes a champion sacrifices late nights, junk food, and social events to train relentlessly. The entrepreneur who builds a multi-million-dollar business sacrifices leisure time, sleep, and financial security to chase a vision. The artist who masters their craft sacrifices instant gratification, distractions, and sometimes relationships to fully dedicate themselves to their passion. Nothing great comes without giving something up. Winners recognize this early, and instead of resisting it, they embrace it. Most people are unwilling to sacrifice because they fear missing out. They do not want to give up comfort, entertainment, or social approval. They want to fit in while also trying to stand out. But that is impossible. If you want to reach the top, you have to make decisions that most people will not understand. You have to be willing to be different, to walk a path that others are unwilling to take. Winners know that success requires trade-offs. You cannot have it all, but you can have what truly matters if you are willing to sacrifice what is not. Sacrifice is not just about giving things up, it is about choosing what matters most. Every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. The question is, are you saying no to distractions? Or are you saying no to your dreams? Are you sacrificing comfort for growth? Or are you sacrificing your potential for temporary pleasures? Winners are clear about their priorities. They make decisions based on their goals, not their impulses. They do not let short-term desires pull them away from long-term success. There will be moments when the sacrifice feels painful. You will see others relaxing while you are working. You will see people enjoying themselves while you are grinding. You will wonder if it is worth it. But this is the test. The difference between winners and everyone else is that winners do not let temporary discomfort shake their commitment. They remind themselves why they started. They stay focused on the bigger picture. They know that the pain of sacrifice is temporary, but the regret of not giving their all lasts forever. Most people quit because sacrifice feels too hard. They give up because they do not see immediate results. But winners push through. They understand that success is a delayed reward. The sacrifices they make today will pay off in ways they cannot yet see. They trust the process, knowing that every extra hour of effort, every moment of discipline, and every sacrifice made is an investment in their future self. If you are not willing to sacrifice, you are not willing to win. It is that simple. The question is not whether you can achieve greatness, it is whether you are willing to give up what is necessary to reach it. The late nights, the missed parties, the hard choices, these are not punishments. They are the necessary price of success. Winners do not see sacrifice as a burden. They see it as an opportunity to prove how much they truly want their goals. In the end, success does not go to the most talented, the luckiest, or the smartest. It goes to those who are willing to sacrifice more than anyone else. It goes to those who refuse to settle for less than they are capable of. It goes to those who are willing to pay the price that others will not. The question is, are you?